Hey, Junction City Today fans, I'm your host, Craig Bielik, and I am so excited because I'm joined today by a friend. And I like to think everybody's a friend, but I actually do know Stacy a little bit, and we're here to talk about her event coming up on April 6th up at Weber State. It's Awesome Autistic Ogden.
Yes.
And you don't want to hear me talk about this, you want to hear her talk about that, and that's what we're going to do. So first off, Stacy, give us a little bit of background. Where are you from, and how did you end up in Ogden, or were you from Ogden? Or?
I am not from Ogden.
Right.
I'm a Navy brat.
Uh-huh.
So it's really a crazy story how I ended up in Utah anyway.
Right.
Because there are no naval bases nearby.
I was going to say, you came for the base.
Yeah. So from living all over, from California to Cuba to all over the East Coast, I actually have an older sister who came out to college here in Utah. And then I subsequently followed her out. And then the rest of our family came out. So
and here you are.
That is how we came to be in Utah.
And here you are. And you're having this event, the Awesome Autistic Ogden.
Yes.
Right? And there's so much to talk about this. I mean, we want to know what you're doing with it and all that kind of stuff. But first off, why? Why are you having this event?
We are doing this event because there's a need for it. It is a three-pronged event. We want to bring autism awareness to the community. We want to bring employers who maybe could come and be inspired on ways that they could implement programs for special needs employment. And we want to bring resources to the community. So we're inviting vendors to come for free that can give families information about what they offer.
Right. So how did you get involved with this? You were just bored one day and you thought, what? I should put on an event.
I know. I thought, I'm bored and don't have anything going on.
You actually do.
I should fill up my plate with a lot of stuff. So my 13-year-old is autistic, and we have been navigating the system for 10 years. And so there's so much to learn. And there are days that are very, very hard. And sometimes we can feel kind of lost and alone. And especially as he gets older and we're thinking, what's going to happen when he gets out of high school? What happens? What are we going to have beyond that? And I know if I'm feeling that way, that there are other families feeling that way, because Utah is one of the highest in the nation for the levels of autism in the state.
Right.
It's 1 in 54 kids right now have that diagnosis. And so we just need to know, special needs families need to know what we have, and that there's some hope and some resources
right
for
in
our
this
kids.
area.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if I think of myself as an educated person, know the area pretty well. But if somebody walked up to me and said, "Hey, Craig, what are our resources in this area for autism?" I probably would draw a blank.
Right.
I just wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know, and that's why you're doing this.
And that's why I'm doing it. And honestly, I have learned a lot in the past couple of months, because I know that I've been in places where it's like, okay, I don't know what to do for my son. I don't know where we can take him or who can help us. So as I've been putting this event together, I have been finding out more and more what we do have in the community. I know that, people can say, oh, you can go to Salt Lake for that, or Utah County has this, or St. George has that. And I'm like, yeah, but that is not feasible for families in Northern. I know. Yeah. As much as I'd love to drive to St. George every weekend. I know, no big deal. What are the resources here in Northern Utah?
Right.
And so that's really what I thought is, if we could bring all of these organizations into one spot, that families can come and get information and know that there is help out there. There are resources available.
So when you started digging, did you find out that there were way more resources than you thought, or were there less? Or?
I won't say there were way more, but there were some that I didn't know about. And particularly ones that help when they are aging out of school and they're older. And because that's really the dilemma we're coming up against is, now what are they going to do? Because I kept thinking, and I had a mom on Facebook, and she said this to me: we have a 22-year-old, and we just kept saying, we just need to get him through high school. And she said, now that he's out of high school, we're saying we wish he could go back to school, because they don't know what to do with him. And I'm like, that's one of my biggest worries.
Well, and it's such a challenging problem, because there's autistic people of all ages.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if people are conjuring up an autistic person, it's a young boy, 8 to 10 years old or something like that. And then autism, as we've all kind of learned over the years, is a spectrum.
Yes.
There's this end and there's this end, and there's everything in between. So this is a challenging problem.
Yeah. There's the very high functioning ones, like my son is high functioning, and then there's low functioning, and we're talking, people that are nonverbal and that kind of thing. So it is a big spectrum, and it's boys and girls, and it's, they're young and they're old. There's it's a big demographic.
All the way across that.
Yeah.
And you want to help people.
And it's
That's
scary.
what this is for, right?
So a lot of resources will end at a certain age, and autism does not end at a certain age. So, for example, we had ABA therapy, and our insurance said they only covered it through 9 years old. And we fought, and we appealed, and we won. So we now have ABA, which is applied behavioral analysis therapy. We have that indefinitely for our son, which is a huge benefit for us to be able, because it helps him a lot. It teaches him social skills. They're teaching him how to cook. I mean, they're teaching him, he has to practice tying his shoelaces every day, like things like that. Things you don't think you have to teach a 13-year-old. That's what they come in and help them with, the emotional and behavioral stuff. And it's such a valuable resource that our insurance wasn't going to cover for us. And a lot of insurances don't cover it for families. So I think just helping families to know that they can advocate, that they can fight, and they can win and get, coverage for their kids.
Sure. Well, let's talk about the Awesome Autistic Ogden event.
Yes.
I was going to say fair or event or hoedown, or
And
I'm not sure what.
I have
what
to
the
say,
term.
well, I mean, maybe it might be a hoedown. We'll see.
We can put some music on.
I say,
We can make it a hoedown.
I'm like, autism is weird, man. You don't know what's going to happen. So we have been very fortunate. We got a sponsor. It's Advanced Brain Technologies. So they are going to be there. They're going to be part of the presentation. We will have the vendors set up so that families can come in and just at their leisure go over, get their information. All attendees will get a bag. I had a friend that donated bags for us. We have stickers and some swag. And then we'll do a presentation that will be about an hour long. We have 2 short videos about a couple of our local autistic Northern Utah kids, and then a 30-minute documentary called Extraordinary People. I'm really excited to premiere that movie. It will be the first showing in Utah of that documentary. So that will be fun. And then Advanced Brain Technologies will give us a presentation, and then we're going to do some door prizes.
Wow.
So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. And the cost for this event?
It is free.
Just free?
It's free to the community and free to the vendors. We just want it to be a resource. We want it to be a place of hope for families.
You're so fun to talk to. I've kind of neglected mentioning that this is your website right here, right?
Oh, yes.
Right here.
Yes.
And that's where you can find out more information. It's called See Stacy Speak for another reason that we'll talk about on another show.
We'll get to that.
And all of that. But the Awesome Autistic Ogden, April 6th. Up at Weber State. It's free.
4 to 7 p.m.
It's free. It's resources for people that have a family member, or anyone, neighbor, anything like that.
And anyone in the community, because we will all be impacted by autism at some point in time.
Right.
Whether it's someone whether it's your, there's a lot of them.
Someone in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think is the largest myth in your experience? What's the largest myth or misunderstanding that people have about autism?
I think that they're stupid. I think that couldn't be further from the truth, because these kids are really, really smart. Right. Even the nonverbal ones, their brains are wired so completely differently from ours. My son is one of the smartest kids I know, but he will have a meltdown deciding what to have for dinner.
Right.
He's not stupid at all. These kids aren't stupid.
Right.
But they have their struggles. And so we have to figure out how we can make a place for them in the world.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys, please, if you've got an autistic person in your life, or someone in that arena, come to the Awesome Autistic Ogden event. Yeah. April 6th at Weber State. There's the website one more time. You know what? Go just to meet Stacy. Everybody that has ever met Stacy just adores Stacy. So do that.
Thanks,
and
Craig.
Thank you for coming on our show today. Thanks. Junction City Today with Craig Bielik and Stacy Bernal. Except for it's Betanala. Better now. I need to learn to say that.
And one last thing.
Yes.
I do want to plug one last thing.
I do.
Ogden is amazing. And I think you already know that.
Oh, I love Ogden.
But I just have to say, this event is not a one-woman show. This event is so many people who have already stepped in and offered so much help. I mean, Pepsi has donated all of our posters.
Wow.
Our sponsor is fantastic. Friends who have donated products and door prizes. And I'm sure I'm forgetting people. They will all be listed on the event page. But just my heart is full, because people in Ogden are awesome. So I appreciate all the support in this
I agree.
event.
I agree.
fruition.
Ogden is great. It's
Yep.
got Junction City Today, this program, which you've been watching. And we thank you for that too. Stacy, we're going to have you on many more times, I'm sure.
Thanks, Craig.
You bet. You bet.